Okay, I think we are live. Let me send some messages out real quick. Publish that. And I don't know if I saved that one anywhere. Oops. I did. And we're live. Good. Let's see here. Give me a second. I want to get some stuff posted. All right. So, how's everybody doing? Hopefully well. How you doing, Sion? So in this stream, I'm going to assemble this tiny ESP32 that, is that bio? It cold down there? Pretty warm up here. Not too bad, but it's obviously flipped. But yeah, anyways, we're gonna... Thanks, I have no idea if it'll work, but it was one of those little fun little project things where I'm like, you know, I wonder how small I can make this thing. And we'll see if it works or not. I don't know if it will, but I mean, looking at it already, like, it's one of those things you design it and then you send it off, and then while it's being made, you're like, oh, I should have changed that, or I should have done this differently. So I'd already changed some stuff on this, but we'll still build it, have some fun with it today. So I guess we'll get right to it for the most part. I'm going to try to keep straight all my cameras. All right, so I've got this view. Let me move the chat to a different window so I can see. Yeah, at 5 volt, that's basically how you're gonna have to power it for the most part. It's just 5 volts in, or the USB connection. Yeah, so I've got this view. Let me know what you guys like better, or this view. And that view's actually a bit... I don't want to mess with that too much. Let's stick with this one. All right, so we've got our little boards. Tiny little things. So, and we've also got a microscope. So we'll be assembling it under that that microscope, but for now I need to paste these up, which should be interesting. So yeah, this little guy got a fully featured, for the most part, ESP32 C3, because that's the smallest, you know, physical chip that they make. And it'll have a USB connector on the bottom with a couple buttons, a couple of pins broken out, RGB LED. Yeah, all the GPIO pins are 3 volts or 3.3. They have a limit of how much milliamps they can pump out. You can't like power like super heavy, you know, power draw stuff. But yeah, you can definitely do that. But yeah, this has got 5 volts broken out, ground, 3.3, and then 2 GPIO pins. So let's go back here. Now, we'll just get right into it, because why not? I need to get this on the bottom of my stencil here, and I wonder if I maybe zoom in a little bit, make it a little easier for you guys to see. I get focused. Hopefully that's focused enough. Now I could, I think these are 1 millimeter thick. I didn't really prep all that much today. I just kind of did a little bit last night, and then trying to run around and do some stuff today. Been working on a lot of different stuff, some client stuff. Got a couple different jobs I'm working on. And then building some fun boards. And I got some secret project stuff in the background that I'm working on that I'm very excited about. And then I can't even pick this dang thing up. Okay. So now the fun part about doing a double-sided board like this, and Sion would know this too, is it gets particularly tricky like when you try to reflow stuff, because you don't want to accidentally knock something off on the other side while the other side's reflowing. So a lot of times I'll just use two different temps of solder, a higher temp for one side and a lower temp for the other side. But I mean, there's other ways to do it too. I do like people hire me to build, whatever product they want. So I've got a couple of those jobs I'm doing right now. Nothing crazy, but it's, it's work. So, debating whether or not which side I want to do first. I think doing the top side first is going to be easier. And then, but I'm trying to debate whether or not I actually want to go with two different solder temps. Yes, they do, yes. Can't have any fun money if you're not, not working and making money. Okay. Hopefully all this is in frame. Kind of have to do this far away. I'm trying to debate whether or not I want to do the top side first. So ideally I would do the top side here with a higher temp solder paste. But it also makes reworking it harder. Yeah, if nobody's following Unexpected Maker, you definitely should be. I'd be shocked if anybody who's watching me isn't already subbed to Sion over there, but if you're not, go check out his stuff for sure. Okay, so I think we're just gonna go for this. Okay, so I'm gonna have to. Yeah, no problem, mate. All right. I'm gonna do this the old-fashioned way. Something like I have boards, and then you put down other boards as like a outline, and then you tape this thing down and do that job. But I don't know where. Well, I have others. I just don't know where my other ones I have 1 millimeter thick boards are. I apologize if you can't see that. I'm trying to get this lined up. Okay, let's see if that's better. I think we're back? Question mark? Okay, that was very weird. YouTube Studio connection said it was like, we have an excellent connection, but then OBS was saying, I was spitting out like 130 kilobytes a second, which is not right. So hopefully we're okay now. Apologize. Sucks. Hopefully it stays steady. You'll lose everybody in the stream that we had there. Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully it stays going. Okay, well, in any case, what was I doing? I think I need to try and shove this over just a touch. Maybe if I can. It's probably as good as it's gonna get. Like trying to eagle eye the bit rate, make sure it's not. In any case, let me find my stir thing. Got my tub of solder paste. Oh wait, do I want to use this one or do I want to use the other one? I should probably do high temp for this side. Let me grab my other one. This is high temp, right? Yes. A smaller one. I've got a bigger tube that's being frozen in the fridge right now, but I got this little bit I can use, so I'm gonna try and clean this up. Is there 10 components that need soldering? At least, if not more. So, quite a few. They're all very tiny as well. Just trying to warm this up. I guess maybe leaning on it while I do that's not a good idea. I'm gonna shake the camera. It's not gonna take very much solder paste because not a lot there. Let's put that there. And what did I do with my spreader thing? Just had it like, oh, it's right here in front of me. Okay, so let's try and spread this without causing a mess. Solder paste live. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be as popular as some streams, you know. I don't know if I could get away with that on like OnlyFans or something, but all right. So now, hopefully that's got enough on there. It looks good enough. Okay. Now trying to get this off the tape without smearing it all over the place. Try to do this with a pair of tweezers without. Come on. Trying to peel this off without smearing anything. Okay, got it. I'm gonna set this under microscope, and then I will pull the microscope out so that I can start putting components on this. Okay, so just bear with me for a hot second here. Let me change to the microscope. I'm gonna have to pull the microscope out so I can actually see what I'm doing. Ideally. Okay. Bit rate's still good. Hopefully that's not too overly bright. The tape was just to hold it to the bottom side of the stencil. You know, where the camera's at, this thing. Otherwise it would slide all over the place and, you know, you get paste everywhere. All right, now the fun begins. This is gonna be interesting. So, I'm trying to think in which order I should do these. Where's the 5.1K? Where's that supposed to go? Oh, that's not right. Hold on a second. I'm looking at my bomb list and stuff doesn't look quite accurate to what it should be. So let me pull up. Give me a second. I'll come back over here for a second. Just need to see saying this component, is it? Oh, it is. Okay. For some, that's an inductor, and I was like, that didn't seem right, but okay. Back over here. All right, so easiest way, I guess we'll just start at the top. You know, basically the majority of these components are, you know, resistors and capacitors, which is fine. I did have to buy a couple. That's 10. Did I buy any ones? That's 2 nanohenries. What's this? Doesn't even say. I have no idea what that is. Picofarads. And okay, some stuff that I don't know what it is. Oh, it's no, the software I use is KiCad. It's free, open source, very, very powerful. And I highly recommend it. Give me a second while I go through my reels here, try and find my 0402. It's 1 nanofarad. Resistor, 10K. What's this? There we go. Okay. So we'll dump a couple of these out and see how much of a pain in the butt this is going to be. So I need how many of these? I need 4 of these. Okay, that's 4. Probably should put these back in the bag so I don't lose what they are. Okay. All right, these are the right tweezers for the job. We'll find out, I guess. All right, so I need to get this one. It's gonna go. I'm trying to do this. I don't know if looking at the screen's gonna be. Oh yeah, this is gonna be real fun. I can feel it already. Just gotta get it close enough to where it'll reflow. Yeah, KiCad's really good, and there's lots of tutorials and stuff out there for. Okay, so now there's a 2 on the end. Yeah, this is. Tell you what, you gotta have a steady hand, that's for sure, which I rarely have. Luckily, I just kind of have to get them kind of close, and then when they reflow, it'll. Depth perception on this thing, it's not very good. The fun part is trying to like fit, you know, components right next to each other. It's going to be kind of a pain. All right, one more is on the bottom, so I don't need that one just yet. 10 UF, or 10 microfarads rather. Try and get this open without spilling them all over the place. Come on. Come on. How many of these do I need? 2? Okay. This is ridiculous. It's kind of funny, like one thing I didn't realize until, I've known this for a while, but like even though the size is 0402, like the capacitors are still slightly bigger than the rest. They're still, they vary in size depending on how big the rating is. Upside down, that would be an added level of complexity that I'd rather not add to this endeavor. You know, do it upside down and try to place these itty bitty parts. Come on. Okay. All right, we're getting there. 16. Did I buy that? I hope I did. That's a resistor. Yes. I did buy I didn't have any 16 picofarad capacitors, so I literally bought like a little strip of them just to have for this. All right. Yeah, make sure I grab the right one. Kind of looks like there's nothing in there, but there is. Okay. Trying to get the tape off of this thing. Okay. Okay. That. Hey, what's up, MCMJ official? Yeah, it's bomb is KiCad generated. There's like a plugin for it's called, what's it called? iBomb, I think. Very, very good. I'll show it to you guys here in a little bit. I have it on like a side monitor so I can see it while I do this, but it's very handy. Okay, that one goes there. This one goes there. Come on. Jeez. Okay, I'm not going to populate. So one thing I'm not going to populate on this is the antenna stuff. One, because I'm pretty sure I screwed it up anyways. And two, in order to use an antenna with this type of thing, when you lay out your traces, you have to, and I think it's impedance match, which I have never done. I'm going to learn to do it, but I've never done it. And one thing I screwed up for sure is that I have a ground plane under all this, and you really shouldn't, from what I understand. So we'll still be able to test and see if the board works, but I'm not going to mess with the antenna tonight. Fast in videos, but I know you're not really curious. Precision Time is your friend. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, MCMJ got it right. Bill of materials. Basically, yeah. He's got it all for me. I don't have to answer to you, I guess. Okay, so we need 100K. Can't remember what I have on hand and what I ordered extra for that. This one just says, I don't even know what this is. It just says resistor 0402. I'm like, okay, that doesn't tell me anything. What's the rating on it? I don't know what I bought. Let's see, I should have that though. I should have 100K somewhere. That's 10. What's this? It's 51. Nanofarats. 433. Maybe I don't. I thought I did, but maybe I don't. $10K. Maybe that is the right one. Let me look up the part number real quick. Make sure this before I place it. C1 dash, yeah, RMC1 dash 1 6 SJ. Let's just see if that spits anything out. What is the, oh, those are 0 ohm. Okay, so that's not the right one. That's why I didn't have a rating on it, because it's nothing. What? What are the? Yeah, that's just it's just solder paste for the heat spread pad, ground plane, whatever you want to call it. They just do a couple of dots that way you don't like over flood it with solder paste because it's so small as it is. JPTH. And this one is what's this rating? No, that one's 0. Why do I have so many of these? Or did I buy multiple? 0 ohm. Sorry guys, I'm like struggling here to. Oh, I do have 100K. All right, never mind. Sorry, crisis averted. I'm just a moron. I think I accidentally bought like multiple 0 ohm resistors, different types. So like I have like 2 different bags that appear to both be 0 ohm, but we'll see. I have like all the normal staples in 0402, just not like random ones. Okay, back to the task at hand here. Okay, this one goes. Get my eyes crossed. Trying to look at this. It's probably close enough, but transfer. I can't even like move it without moving the whole PCB. No, that's good. I'm happy to learn something. That's how I learned a lot of stuff too, just watching people, you know. Like Unexpected Maker, who was in here a little bit ago. Learned a ton from that dude. And let's see. It's one thing that's real, I mean, love about the community is, or you know, the maker community in general. Oh yeah, okay. Oh, or I just yeeted that 10. That resistor just went flying off the tip of my I apologize not to pronounce your name. Is it like I'm terrible with pronouncing names in general, but is it Zenya? Zenhea? Hey, no problem at all. You know, I'm here if you ever need any, if you have any questions or anything, happy to help. Good luck with that. All right, let's try not to fling this one across the. Try and get this in here. But yeah, I'm no matter which direction you go with that rain thing, that's a really interesting project. Be cool to see the end result, or must be on the bottom. Now we need a 0 ohm resistor. Hey, that's pretty cool, bio. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with just a perf board and, you know, jumper wires and stuff. Definitely had a lot of projects like that. I am pretty sure this one is 0 ohm. RMC JST. Okay, we're gonna go with this one. I think you've just confused me more, MCM. I don't really have, I haven't stuck them in an enclosure, honestly. I do have like a bunch of like waterproof enclosures that have like, you know, like a clear lid on them or whatever. That I had a bunch laying around here somewhere. I don't even know what I'd do with them. I'd put it on stream, but I don't know where it ran off to. Well, if I find it, I'll. Yeah, I don't. I think it'd be kind of hard to find something that's that's, you know, small, that's also like waterproof, but it may exist somewhere. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Okay. All right, we're getting through this list here. Not gonna do that one. 3 nanohenries. Pretty sure I bought that. It's 2. What's this one? It's 10 UF. That's not it. Picofarads. Maybe I only bought that one. I thought I bought more than that. Well, I guess we'll stick it on there and hope it works. Hopefully the stream's still going well. As far as like not dropping frames and stuff. Like it did to start. Alright, we're getting through the tiny stuff. We'll just about get close to doing the fun, bigger stuff. Okay. Okay. I don't know if it matters which way this goes, but oh no! I can't tell if it's no. I think that's just normal. Alright, I'm gonna screw this up if I don't pay attention to what I'm doing. Trying to get this to the right spot. Okay. I sure hope this works because this is a lot of work just to do this. Okay, now I need a tiny little Schottky diode, which might be in my pick and place machine. Let me look. Maybe I'm trying to see here. Okay, I think I have some in this. Yes, I get one out of this little discard pile without getting into the reel itself. I've got this little pile of all these random things that got discarded by my pick and place because I didn't pick it right or whatever. So that's what we need right there. So turn this around. I'll try and get this center back up again so you guys can see it all right. Okay. Tiny little Schottky diode. Okay. And RGB LED, which after all these boards that I've made, like I have not updated this dang footprint to know which orientation. It's this one right here, but like there's no marker on here for which orientation this thing's supposed to go in, which is annoying. So let me we're gonna come over here for a second and see if I can't figure out which direction this thing's supposed to go. Do this for a second, move this over. And here. We'll open up my beat data logger and see if I can't figure out which orientation I set this up in. It is massive. Apologize. Okay, then I need my actual beat data logger. I'll just use this one here. Trying to, if I can figure out which orientation I put it in, then. Okay, so that's that way. So towards ground. Ground to top. Okay. I think that's gonna work. Yeah, so if I'm not mistaken, if I can see it right, I think it goes this way. We will find out if it doesn't work. I came back to the conversation at the wrong time because I just looked down and I saw I have a virgin and I'm like, what? Oh, nice. Okay. Like out of the loop and then come back to the conversation. You're just like, wait, what? What's going on now? Okay. Let's continue on before I get too sidetracked. So we got that. Let's do. So I'm gonna need the crystal oscillator, which, of course, I don't know what the heck I did with them. Thought I threw them all off to the side so I wouldn't lose them for this little project, and of course, that could be anywhere. I don't know. All right, bear with me, guys. I'm sorry. Stick them in here? Yes, I think this is it. Nope, that's not it. That's a different crystal. Should be 40 megahertz, if I'm not mistaken. What did I do with that thing? It'd be really annoying if like I can't find them, but I know. No, that's not it. That's not it. What's this? Nope. I could have swore I left it out here. Oh, no worries, dude. Autocorrect gets me all the time as well. Wow, this is annoying. I don't have that many of them either, which is kind of the part that sucks, because... Alright, we'll come back to that. I don't want to waste too much time on the... So, I need that one, which I don't know where that one's at either. I really probably should have prepped some of this stuff before I decided to go live. This one, that one should be in a... This should be it. Because I haven't used these yet. So I don't do my commercial stuff like by hand like this. I do them on my pick and place. And I don't have like a super high-end pick and place like Xeon does. So mine, I can do, it depends on how many components are on the board, but my machine can do about 1,200 components an hour, which like for the BS3, I think works out. I could do like, I forget off the top of my head, like 50 or 60 boards an hour maybe with that. The B data logger is a bit more involved and it has two sides, so it takes longer. But for stuff like this, like there's absolutely no point whatsoever to set it up on the pick and place machine, because it would take longer to set up on the pick and place than it would actually run it, or do this rather. Okay, this little guy is the voltage regulator, and I want to make sure that I'm put this on here right. Yes, that's right. Do you... Oh, I see what you're saying. Basically, I'll make several hundred at a time, and then once those sell out, then I'll make more. Or if I get low in stock, I'll make more. Oh, very nice. Just let go of that. Jeez. Okay, let's try this again. Hopefully that's good enough. Trying to... Okay. That. what the heck was on that pad, or did I just knock that off somewhere? I thought I put something here. What was that? $10 microfarad. Where'd it go? Am I crazy, or did I not put something there? Or now I'm very confused. Because that one's not populated and that one's not populated, but I thought I did. Yeah, I even took 2 out of this thing. Where the heck did they go? Am I crazy? On, what are you talking about, Bio? On this thing, or? Huh. What the heck did I do with those 2 that I took out then? Do it again, I guess. It entirely depends on which voltage regulator is being used. Almost all of them that you'll come across, the max that they can take is 6 volts. But if it says 5 volts power, you just want to put 5 volts in. You don't want to put any more than that. The only reason I say 6 is because the voltage regulators typically have a little bit of extra headroom. You know, in case you accidentally put like 5.5 in, you're not frying anything. But yeah, if it says 5 volts, that's the max you can put in. Don't put any more than that. Otherwise, you will damage something. Okay. Those are now populated, and if those disappear again, then something fishy is going on. All right, so we just need the chip, and we need that crystal. As Bio, that entirely depends on whatever voltage regulator is on whatever board you're using. You might want to be 100% positive before you plug 12 volts into something, because you will let out the magic smoke if you're not careful. I've done that before, so, you know, just proceed with caution. Okay, I need to find the little crystals. Did I set it in my drawer? No, that's not it. That's MPU. That's not it. That's not it. Oh my goodness, what the heck did I do with those? It is kind of important that I have that crystal on here. Yeah, I mean, like every ESP32 like basic board that you buy, like 5 volts is the max. If it says 5 volts on the vent, you know, pin or whatever, then that's the max it can take. Is it up here? Nope. All right, well, this is certainly unfortunate. I also need to figure out what to do with the chip itself. I know I had those out, like, earlier. It doesn't help that my desk is a mess. All those. I don't want to. Sorry, guys. Did I put them back in here? So I can't. I don't know if these are the C3. Yes, those are the right chips. Okay, that's a good thing. I'm on the right track here. Man, what did I do with those? I'm like digging through my drawer right now, trying to figure out what I did with the crystal.
which is this board might not work as it is, but it definitely won't work without the crystal on there. And come on, where are you at? All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and just put this C3 chip on there real quick. I'm gonna be so annoyed if I can't find that. If I cannot find the crystal oscillator. Let me look and make sure I get the right pin. Yeah, that's one towards the top. All right, now try and do this without smearing any of these pads because that would be very unfortunate. Steady. Steady. That was not my best effort. Oh man. I don't want to like shove this up because then I'll just smear all these pads basically. Try and hold this down without... Oh, this is nice and nerve-wracking. Okay. Nice and easy. Oh! Well, that might be good enough. I might be able to get away with that. That's not great. I know I just said I don't want to... Yeah. It might reflow and find itself, actually. I'm not going to touch that. Alright, now let's just find that, you know, the crystal oscillator that I've been searching for forever. Let me go through. I thought I had thrown it over into my rack, so I'm like, oh yeah, I'll know exactly where that's at. I'll just stick that right there, and then, you know. I found the crystal oscillator at 32 hertz, but that's not the one. I need a 40. Let me just skim through these real fast. What's that? Nope, not that. Dang, I can't see the chat right now. I apologize in advance. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Found another 32 kilohertz that I didn't even know I had. Everyone but the one I need. That's a fuel gauge. Aha! Found it! I found it. Oh my goodness. Boom. That's what we need. You know, where I stuck it doesn't make any logical sense either. I don't know why I put it there. You're thinking, oh yeah, I'll find that later. I guess technically I did, but okay, so this is gonna go right there. Okay, so that's everything on this side. Like I said before, I'm not going to populate the antenna stuff because that's not going to work as it is. So I wonder, let's do this. I'm going to try and do this without dumping it all over the place because that would really suck at this point. Let's go top down. I'm going to move this microphone, or not microphone, microscope out of the way. And I'm going to hot plate this sucker right in front of you guys. We'll zoom in as far as this can go. Apologize in advance if there's any shakiness. Ooh, that would have been bad. About skipped everything off the top of that thing. Let me see if I can get this in focus. Okay. I might be able to zoom in a touch more. Okay. And there we go. And let's get this sucker started. Hopefully I have the right settings on this. It'll take it, I don't know, like a minute or so to get, up to speed. Yeah, it's got a little tiny hot plate. Normally I'd stick my stuff in my reflow oven, but for your guys' entertainment, it's on this tiny little hot plate. So we'll let that go for a second. The only things we have to do now, once this reflows, I'll try and kind of look at it closely on a microscope and just make sure that it looks more or less right. Hope they don't see any, jumpers or anything. And then we will put the USB connector on the bottom and the buttons on the bottom. I think there's like 2 little resistors or capacitors that go on the bottom as well. And then it's done. And then we can plug it in and hopefully there's no shorts or anything and it actually works. We might have to write a little tiny bit of code to get it to work right. Let me put some of this away. Basically and it will start smoking a little bit because it's going to get super hot. I think that paste I'm using for this side has to get up to like 400 or some degrees or so, 428. And also I'm going to got a little fan here. It's going to suck the fumes away. Okay, let's take a look. Let's see if it's reflowing or not. Yeah, it looks like it is. I don't know how well you guys can see that on your end, but I'm going to take kind of a closer look here. Yep, it's all reflowing. It's looking pretty good, actually. Yeah, I think that's basically reflowed. Now, the moment of truth, pulling this off without knocking everything all over the place, because I've done that more times than I care to admit. Okay, I'm going to put that on the microscope so you guys can see it. It's going to cool off. I'm going to unplug this hot plate and try not to touch it. That's something else I've done. I've used this little hot plate before. Like if it's, like if it's sitting here and like I've reached across to grab something and like burned the bottom of my arm on it. Not fun. Okay. Turn that off like that now. No, it's not the number average for hot plates. It's just what this temp requires. It's like, I forget the exact temperature, but it's like in that range. It's 428 or something like that. The temp I'm going to use, the paste I'm going to use for the other side, for the connector and whatever, it's only like a 300 degree Fahrenheit. So basically 300 degree Fahrenheit paste. That way I can heat that side up to reflow it, and it's nothing on the other side that I've just put on will fall off because that paste won't get hot enough for it to move around, basically. Okay, so we got that. So this sucker is going to cool off. And kind of look for some jumpers. I don't really see any. That's a good sign. Looks like everything reflowed properly. Oh, no, I spoke too soon. It looks like there's a jumper right there, which is annoying. And I wonder if that's on pins that are connected to anything. No, it's not actually. Those 2 pins are not connected to anything, but they might be important. Thank you. I mean, it might not work, but I don't know how impressive it would be at that point. But so I'm looking at the schematic right now, and those 2 pins are not connected. These 2 pins are not connected to anything like trace-wise, but they're connected to each other, which might be a problem. It's so annoying. Because in order to fix that, I'm going to have to heat it up again. and kind of try and pull the chip off. See it right there. Just not ideal. So, I suppose it might not matter, but knowing my luck, it's going to be way easier to rework it without the other stuff on the other side, like the USB connector and stuff. So I'm just going to do that. And try to get this into field of view. And we'll put this back up here again. It's going to be extra fun because I'm trying to do this with trying to do this out here where so you guys can see it with the camera, which means I kind of have to lean over a bit. Just not the best. I might be able to just like kind of poke at it with a tweezers once it gets hot enough to get that bridge to break. Maybe. Try that first before I try and pull it off. I don't have a soldering iron that thin. Like I know on like the microscope it looks big, but like this is actually, it's like very, very tiny. Yeah, I'm trying to break that little tiny. So we'll let it heat up. Should start to reflow soon. Oh yeah, to answer your question, MCM, yeah, it runs off of USB. It's not off of a USB off like a computer. It has like a big power brick. So it's definitely not like your Apple wall charger is not going to run this thing. Okay, let's try and do this without. If I can get that to. Okay, I think we might have just gotten away with that. Yeah, those are not connected anymore. Okay. I don't know how well you could have seen that, but basically I just used the tweezers to like kind of break that ball and then just roll it out of there so it's not, and it's actually on the tip of my tweezers right now. If I go down, I don't know if you'll be able to see a little ball of solder there on the end. That's all I knocked off. Okay. That's out of the way. Again, I'm going to try and move this without knocking anything off. Set it right there. And then we'll inspect it again, make sure it doesn't have any jumps. Pull this out. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Nothing there. Looks good. Okay, that is broken. Exactly, I've definitely made a lot of mistakes, but you're right, you do learn a lot as you go. And that's kind of the best way to learn sometimes, is just to try it and make mistakes and figure out what works and what doesn't. And I don't know, try and pull this little thing off. I did like these half holes on this thing, but I'm not really that impressed with how they came out. Although admittedly, I'm not. I didn't choose the good finish like E-neg or anything for this because it's just a little test board. There we go. Pull it off. Okay. All right, got that. Now we get to put the stuff on the bottom. I want to make sure that it's actually okay. Yeah, make sure it's cooled off enough. All right, so that's what we got to put on the bottom. Move chat a little bit so I can see. So I need to figure out, so that is a 5.1K, and that is a 1 UF, which I think is this one. Okay, so my stencil technically has the, holes on the bottom for it, but well, maybe I should just do that. All right, bear with for a sec, guys. Sorry. I was just thinking I could just like plop some solder on there, but some of this is kind of tiny, so I might as well just try and stick it to the bottom of this. You know, you're not going to be able to see this. Let me, and let's go. All right, I'm just gonna have to do this with. I like to do it under the camera for you, but it's you have to line it up perfectly, and I need to be able to see what I'm looking at. Okay, it's not too bad. Not there. So maybe not perfect, but it'll do the job. Then we're gonna put a little bit of solder on here. It's not gonna take much at all. Tiny little bit. So do this. Okay. And this. Hopefully, yeah, I can still see it okay. Like so. Yeah, this is a double-sided board. That's the only way I could get it this small is by putting some of the stuff on the bottom. It's not unusual for some, you know, boards to be populated on the bottom. I generally try to avoid it, like especially for production stuff, because it's an absolute pain in the butt to do. But like my beat data loggers, for instance, they have stuff on the bottom, but it's only the on-off switch and the SD card reader, so it's not terrible. Okay, so we only have a couple of things to put on. Oh, let me go back to here. We have a couple of small things to put on here. It should only take a minute. Find this one UF from earlier. This one should go there. That. And 5.1K, which is going to be, I think, over here somewhere. Give me a second. 433 and 60. This 5.1. It's one of these. Yeah, I've actually started recently, like using ChatGPT for, not necessarily for like, hey, write this code for me, but there's a lot of, it's actually like amazing. Like you're like, hey, how do I, get started doing like this particular extremely specific task, and it'll like, the code might not work that it gives you, but it's sort of like a great jumping off point. Be like, oh, okay, that's probably how you would tackle that. So yeah, I'm very impressed with it's only going to get better, which is crazy. Okay, got those. Gonna put our, this is a micro USB. It's not a USB-C. One, it's smaller. And two, with USB-C, you have to, can't barely see what I'm doing here. With USB-C, you have to have extra resistors on there for the data lines. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So in order to try and keep this thing smaller, oh no. Oh no. Something's not right. Do these have, why is that not sitting flat? Oh, dang it. That's a problem. I guess the footprint I have used is not right, because this has these itty bitty little nubs on the bottom of it. And this doesn't have anywhere for those to go. So we're gonna have to lop them off. Yeah, it really does. And also the nice thing about ChatGPT is, like, if you have a question about something, it'll give you an answer like instantly. Whereas with like Stack Overflow, you have to wait, and hopefully somebody will take pity on you and answer your question. I mean, don't get me wrong, Stack Overflow has been amazing to me for over the years too, for like, you know, learning things, but I hope I can lop enough of this off that it's gonna, I think. Trying to, I don't know how much that you can see. I tried to like cut the tips of those little nubs off. Trying to squish this down, see if I, so it doesn't get in the way. Ideally, these are, you want these normally because it keeps the board from like or the connector from like twisting off and stuff, but I don't care. Okay, hopefully that's good enough. Let's try it again. Let's see if I can get this to sit flush. Is there more on here? Just curious. Oop. Oh, there's all sorts of stuff wrong with this. Wow. Okay, well, this is going to be interesting. We might have to jerry-rig the crap out of this. It has, I didn't realize this, but it has this like bent down lip, and which hits somewhere like, you know, here on the edge of the board, so it's not sitting flush that way. Oh, that sucks. This is going to be the ugliest USB connector on planet Earth when I'm done with it. I don't know if I can cut that off. About to find out though. Yeah, it kind of worked. Sorry, I'm just trying to like trim this thing back a little bit. I also had, there it is. Try to find it. Although I don't know how well I'm gonna be able to grab that. You know, learn as you go. I don't know if that's going to be enough, but hopefully it is. I just cut off the end of that so it's not rounded as much. Let's try it again. It's the kind of stuff you should probably figure out before you know, invest all this time, but I might got away with that. Looks like it's sticking now. Yeah, boy. All right, now we just need the buttons, which, well, should have some of those just laying around. In fact, they might be in here. Let me see if I can. There's one. Did I just drop it? No. And I need one more. One more little button. Oh, come on, seriously. No. Okay. Got him. I had to grab him out of my pick and place. Ugh. Okay. It's button 1. Button 2. Okay. Boom. Well, that's not really a boom, I guess. That's more of a, needs to be moved over a touch. Okay. All right, that's probably good enough. And, oh man, actually those connectors like kind of smushing the that over a little bit. Okay. Yeah, Paul MacGyver, exactly. Oh, hey, what's going on, Ed? You missed all the fun. I don't know, or I don't know, maybe you've been hanging out the whole time. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna actually throw this side into my reflow oven because that's just gonna be easier than trying to reflow it with the crap on the other side. So it'll only take a couple minutes to reflow. Over here. Okay. All right. So let that reflow, and then we'll plug it in and see if it burns anything down. So yeah. Another thing I'll probably, I mean, I don't know if this is something I was playing around with. Like, I don't know if I'd ever make this like as a product, because especially going super small, it gets more tricky, but I would change some of the stuff. I'd probably just get rid of the castellated holes, honestly. And I maybe would try and maybe put pins on both sides. That way it would allow you to, you know, plug shields and different stuff into them. Which would be pretty cool. But they're kind of, I mean, I have, part of the inspiration for this was like, I don't know if you guys have seen the, like Adafruit Cutie Pie boards. Of which I have a couple. I just don't know what to do with them. What do I do with it? Seriously. Having great... Oh, there we go. Like, this is their Cutie Pie board. And this is pretty tiny, honestly. Like, and it, you know, it has more, a little bit more functionality than what I just made, but... Oh, thanks, Ed. Very brave or very dumb, I don't know. But, and their bottom side, they don't have anything on it. So the only thing that mine doesn't have really is the stemma connector. But when it gets done reflowing, I'll stick it next to this thing so you can see how big it is. Oh, thank you. I was just talking about, you know, pointing to stuff and you guys can see it. Sorry. Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, this is the Cutie Pie. Which is, I mean, it's small. Don't get me wrong. But the, yeah, the B data log, or not the B data log, the B tiny thing, tiny ESP32 that I just made is way smaller. Which is pretty cool. Probably get another like 2 or so minutes on the reflow over there. But yeah. This is the downtime, I guess. Let's see. So I need to figure out what I want to do as far as programming this, because I might have to kind of build a little library for it real quick. So, I mean, the normal ESP32 dev chips, like the old school style, the one that I've installed is a RISC-V. It's newer. The S3 and S2 are different. Oh, I forget the name off the top of my head. I should know it off the top of my head, but I can't. It's off the tip of my tongue. In any case, it's different like architectures basically. And the cool thing about the C3 chip, which I put on this little board, and the S2 and the S3 is that it has USB plugged in, or has USB capabilities built into the chip itself. Whereas when you use an old ESP32, which I can probably show you if I can find one, you have to have a dedicated UART chip on it, which wasn't a big deal. Like, I mean, people did that for ages. But then when because they weren't that expensive. But when COVID happened and then we had a bunch of chip shortages, the cost of those UART chips went through the roof, like $4 or $5 a chip kind of a thing, when they used to be, you know, 30 cents. So it made like making the old style ESP32s like cost prohibitive. So yeah, that's kind of the difference, really. Also, like some of them are only 1 core, some are 2 core. So yeah, there's different differences there. All right, this thing's just about done. Timer went off. And hopefully that reflowed okay. Looks like it maybe did. Pull it over here and stick it under the microscope for you. So that is the one I've made, and that's the cutie pie right next to it. So it's is it dual core 233 or slower? Not sure. We might rephrase the question. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Yeah, it's very tiny. Itty bitty. It looks like it reflowed okay. I mean, this button's not like perfectly centered, but whatever. And let's make sure we got... Ooh, that looked like maybe I got lucky and it's soldered, but it almost looks like it's raised off of the pads a little bit. But it does have... Hopefully those are connected. Otherwise I might have to rework that one again. 233 megahertz. The 200, so the S3 is dual core, S2 is dual core, the C3 that I have here is single core. I believe the original one was dual core. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh no, they're very similar. The S3 is 240 megahertz dual core. So I'm basically the same. It's a couple megahertz difference. So okay, I'm trying to make sure this thing cools off before I mean, it's a little warm still. When you heat them up like this, if you put them on like a metal plate, they cool off pretty quick. So we can let's even flip it over. So, whoops. Get it like that. So yeah, it's itty bitty. Now in comparison, like this is not the C3. This is like an STM chip, I think. So they don't. The crystal's probably built into it or whatever. I don't see where they put a crystal in here anywhere. So let's move that out of the way. We'll plug it in and see if we got any shorts or anything. Hey, my computer recognized something. That's fantastic. So let's go boot, reset, boot. All right. I think it recognized it, which is fantastic. Now, the funny thing is this thing is so small that the cable just wants to go wherever it wants to go, and I'd like to put it somewhere where you guys can see it. Now, if I can get this to stay still. Oh, this is going to be a pain in the butt. It just wants to go wherever it wants to go. I'm trying to pin this thing down. All right, this might be as good as you guys get on that. Okay. Well, I'll come back here for a second just so you can see what we're doing. Yeah, it really is sensor size. Probably the smallest chip I've seen yet with What's my inspiration? Part of it was honestly like looking at those cutie pies, thinking like, oh, this is really tiny. I'm like, I bet you can get it smaller though. You know, I don't know if it's practical at all, but you know, it's just one of those things where it's like, I wonder if I can make something smaller. So you try it, you know. It's half the fun sometimes. Okay. Now we need to, let's see here. I'm trying to think. So that all worked. We need to, so basically we want to see, basically the only way we're going to be able to test this to see if it's actually working is if we can get the RGB LED to turn on and like cycle through its colors and stuff. So let's see if I can make a little library real quick. No, that's not the right one. And then I'm not going to make it from scratch, but you might be able to get an idea of what we're doing here. It should be, nope, that's not the right one. Variants. And let's go with, I guess I'll just copy the beat data logger for now. I'll rename it Be Tiny. And I'm going to open this up. This is our pens. Okay. Try to get this in the screen so you guys can see it. We're going to get rid of this stuff because we don't need that. All that doesn't matter. What I care about is naming my pins that so NeoPixels on GPIO 13. So I'm going to come all the way down here. Data is 13 and power is GPIO 12. So I am powering this off of an actual GPIO pen. It has 2 pins. Here, I'll show you my terrible schematic here. I didn't like organize any of this. I just threw it all together. So I've got my power to my RGB and my NeoPixel right here. So I need to be able to turn those on and control them. Okay. So we got that. We don't care about, I mean, those don't really matter because we don't have that on the board. I don't even know if this has touch pens. I didn't even think to check. So basically, you would just name your pens if you were making one of these for yourself. So that way you can reference, you know, if you ever see like a program or whatever where they're like, you know, pen D2 or whatever, or A3, this is how you would name them. I'm just going to do it for the heck of it, even though I don't really need all this. And then I named my SDA and SCL pins are, those were 2 of the ones I broke out. Find that right, not that one. Let's see here. Or I thought I did. Or maybe I didn't. No, I can name them that. Okay. So let's just make, we'll make SDA2 and we'll make SDA3. So we're just naming those. Okay, we don't care about everything else. All right, we'll save that. I think that's everything I need in here. Okay, close that. Now, so like when you open up your Arduino IDE, for instance, and like you go to your tools and you go to your boards, and you know there's just this massive list, you know, of how many boards. The way you can add your own to it. This will only work on your end. So like if you ever update this library, it'll get overridden. But if you ever want to add your own to this, it's actually it's not terribly difficult, but it is a little kind of tedious. Let me just make sure that I don't think it needs updated, but let me see if they've updated. Oh, they did. Okay. Wow, they're up to 2.11 already? Let me go ahead and update that. Oh, crap. I think I just have to quickly. I'm going to copy that because I think it might override my Be Tiny that I've just put in there. probably going to overwrite this. Now it's installing. So it's thinking about it. Okay, there's 2.011. No, and it uninstalled the old one. So now I'm going to put the one that I just made in here. Now what? Oh. All right, well, we'll do it again. I just went to paste it, and it was like, you can't paste from somewhere that doesn't exist anymore. All right, well, you guys get the idea. It's not that, I mean, sorry, we'll do this again real quick. Just, okay, we don't care about all that. We don't care about any of that right now. Let's just 2, 3. I don't even care about those. So what did I say my... So power is on 12. 12, 13. Okay, save that. Okay, now, as I was just saying, in order to get your board in that list of stuff, you got to come into this folder here, you know, this location. And you're going to find the board's text document. I would highly suggest opening this in like VS Code. It is a massive list. Like you think the list of boards is long, this list is longer. And I'll show you. So we're going to open it up. Get ready for this. And, oh, all right. Thanks for the release notes. This is the list. And we'd have to add our board in here. So, which is crazy. Now, the easiest way to do this, like this is everybody's boards, and basically this sets all of the partition scheming and the menu options and everything, right? Yeah, I mean, I use Arduino IDE all the time, but VS Code's good for just general coding and, like you said, Python and things like that. You can use Platform IO through this thing, which will do Arduino as well, but I don't really mess with that. The easiest way to make this work for yourself is just to search your chip name. So I'm using the ESP32 C3. I don't know if I can. And basically, you just want to find one that's basically going to copy somebody else's just to make it easy on yourself. I'd like to try the dev maybe. So let's see here. Sorry. Let me ESP32 S3 dev C3 dev module. So we're going to copy all this. That's a new one. I don't know what that means. Okay, so we're going to copy all that. And we're going to come all the way down to the end of the list. And we're going to paste it. And then we're going to replace, let's name, oops, be tiny. And we're going to replace this with our, how we named it in the other folder, which is b_tiny. And I'm going to replace all these. Now, at a certain point, hopefully I'm doing this right. Occasionally you can break it if you don't copy these all just correctly. And when we get to the bottom, we want to stop because we don't want to replace the actual one that we copied from at the top while I'm doing this. Okay. Ooh, did I go too far? Yes, I did. Okay. Save. All right, now let me close Arduino and restart it just in case. And we'll see if it shows up in there. Just give it a second to think. It's thinking, it's thinking. Come on. There we go. Thinking still. Okay, let's see if it shows up in our... I'll let it update, I guess. This takes a second, but okay, let's see if it's showed up in here. It's going to be all the way at the end. There it is, be tiny. So now we have that selected, and we can select our port that we have. So now we have a board called Be Tiny. Yeah, my wife's over my shoulder, creeping. Okay, we don't need that. All right, now we need to build just a real quick library for actually making this RGB work. Which again, I'm just going to cheat and copy my other ones here. Just to make this quick and easy because I don't have a ton of time tonight, unfortunately. So I want to copy that. We're going to rename the tiny. Open this up. Be tiny. We'll just give it a... I'm just kind of updating. Not that it really matters because this stuff's... I don't need these. I don't have any of the pens. Save that. I'm going to kind of speed through this a tiny bit. I'm going to rename this to Be Tiny. Let's just try that. Be Tiny, maybe. Okay, so now we need to do Be... Rename those. That doesn't exist. Be Tiny. Do a BDL replace with Be Tiny. Just replace all these. I guess that's all of them. Yep, you can copy and change stuff and make things your own. It's pretty cool. So basically in here, it's going to reference those pins that we named earlier. So RGB power, RGB data. I want to make sure I'm going to get rid of some of the stuff because some of the stuff I don't know if it'll break it or not. We don't have any of those. Those don't exist. Don't have that. We'll keep that. Keep the color, the brightness, right pixel. I'm just keeping all this stuff in here because I don't want to mess with it. We don't have a battery voltage. We don't have ADC. We don't have that. I think that's everything. Okay, that's all that. And we're going to get rid of all of these because I don't care about this stuff in here. And we're going to have to rename this. Let's open with... No, dang it. I guess it doesn't matter. To rename these. Be Tiny. I'll just leave that the same. I don't care. Okay. So we'll select that, even though it Be Tiny. And let's try and upload to it. See what happens. It might give me an error. Yep, okay. Let's see. Figure out what this... Okay, so I screwed up something within that big text document. Okay. Chip. Fix that real quick. Nope, nope, nope. This up. Oh, fine. Be Tiny. Let me see where it gave me that error. Chip. I think I accidentally... It's looking for like, you know, ESP32 C3 or whatever, and I replaced it with be tiny on accident. Might be MCU. Oh wait, I don't want these. I don't need those there. Get rid of that. I think it might be MCU what it's looking for. Maybe. I just want to make sure I'm changing the right thing here. Yeah, that's what I got wrong. Okay. So MCU should be ESP32 C3. Let's save that. I don't think I'm going to have to re-upload it. Nope, didn't like that either. Okay, I might have to close this. Save. And close that. We're getting close. We're getting close, guys. Appreciate your patience. But this is how the magic's made. That's not the right. That's not what we want. Examples. It should be. There's our B tiny. There's our RGB. We'll open that up. A little library that we made. And we'll see if we got this right this time. Select our port. Okay, yeah, there we go. I think that fixed it. Unless it pops a different error. Yes, which it did. Oh. Yeah. So that's gonna be, good job. That's what it's gonna be. Yes. All right. Compiling, and it says I'm hoping that I have that RGB on there correctly. Like, you know, I mentioned earlier, like I don't have the orientation saved, so we're uploading maybe. Thinking about it, please work. Ah. Okay, let's see. I'm pretty sure I had it in download mode, but maybe I didn't. Let's find out. There's a chance that maybe the USB connector's not making a good connection. Oh, come on. Pi serial. Well, let's Google this real quick. ESP32C3. It's over here just so you guys can see what I'm looking at. We'll see. I'll test it on a different one. Yeah, that's a good point. It's not a bad idea. We can try it with like, let's just try the stock ESP32C3 dev module. Even though, well, okay, I'm not gonna be able to upload this sketch because it's gonna look for some of this stuff and be like, hey, this doesn't exist. Let's try and upload a blank sketch to the dev module and see if that does it. Because that'll tell us if it's a problem with our code or not. Good idea, Bio. Good idea. Just let it, you know, I don't know why it's taking forever to compile a blank sketch, but we might have a problem. Okay, so it's not the sketch. It is a problem with something. Not the sketch. So let's see. Problem with start reading some random forum posts. Yeah, could try. Let's try and let's see if that brings up a. That's 11. Oh, that's why. Sorry. Trying something dumb here. So, nah, it doesn't like that. I put it into download mode, yeah. But it was, so it detects the download mode, like that works. Like the data line should be working. So I don't know, something else is funky is going on. Try it again while it's, whoops, wrong one. Is it, maybe it's a can't, excuse me. Somebody can't upload to Sketch. Cause he works in his device firmware. Hold boot 9, press reset button, release boot 9 when you hear that. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. Oh, let me find the chat here in case somebody's saying something. Wire connected. So yeah, I mean, it could be a connection issue. Like I might not have a good solder joint on something. Yeah, that's right. I don't think doing that the other way is gonna make a difference. No, that's not right. All right, it recognizes it. Shall we try asking good old ChatGPT, however you say that. Let's find our. Let's see what it says. C3. Okay, that didn't tell me much. Wiring connections, double connect your, make sure everything is properly connected. So it might just be a connection problem. Let's go back to our down camera here for a second. I'm gonna unplug it. And I wanna see if we can't spot any like connection issue. I mean, it looks like there's solder joints on all those, shockingly, but we got so those have all got joints. Those, ooh. Yeah, I was holding, yeah, the boot button. I don't know if holding down the boot button would matter. So let's try that. Let's see. No, that wasn't it. I don't think. so close to having this, like, you know, working, but it's like, oh, you know, can't upload. I'm literally holding down the boot button right now just to see if that matters. Nope, didn't like that. Yeah, it's a serial exception. Okay. No, it's the only thing using that port. Failed uploading access status. Let's see if that spits anything out for Arduino. How to fix? Oh, that one probably just did that because I had pressed the reset button on it. That's not, that isn't really that helpful, I guess. Trying to think. Wait, hold on. It might be that? After let this fail? Okay. Might have been that. I just copied one, but I didn't think to check to see if these were all set correctly. We'll find out. It's indexing. No, I didn't do it. It's not a problem with ESP tool, but with hardware connection or drivers. I don't think I need any drivers for this. Let's see. Only supports US and JTAG. Boot. That's what I'm in, is the Arduino ID. I don't know if that's gonna matter. I'm kind of just trying some random stuff here. It's trying to upload, but yeah. Let's. All right, we're gonna get a little. We're just gonna try some random stuff and see what we get going on here. I think the first thing I'm gonna try and do is just make sure that those connections have a good connection, if that makes sense. And so, find probably the one. Let's see if I'm gonna put some solder down here. I'm gonna reflow this. Don't want to do too much because I'll probably get some jumpers in there, but okay, so let me stick in my reflow oven again real quick. I might have a bit too much in there, but we can fix it. No, it's yeah, no problem. Give me ideas. It can't hurt. Yeah, the chip's on the correct way. It wouldn't have recognized it if it was on backwards or whatever. There's just probably some connection where, you know, the D plus or D minus pins are not have a good connection, which either means it's on the USB connector or it's on the chip itself. But the fact that it recognizes it, though, makes me think it working. Let's see. I could try maybe just programming a different C3 board and see if, no, which I just happen to have right here. So let's just try and program just a regular C3 dev module, just like this. Go port 13. And C3 dev module. I'm just going to try and upload a blank sketch to it and see if that does anything. Yeah, okay. That worked for the regular old dev module, so it's not a problem with the Arduino necessarily. Okay. So we know that. I'm guessing hopefully this USB thing works. If that's not it, then it's probably like the pin on the bottom of the... in fact, let me see if I can find which ones are the... So our D plus and our D minus are right here, which is these two corner pins, which that might be part of our problem maybe, because these two pins right here are the ones that had the solder jumper on them that I fixed. But maybe there's some connection here. I don't know. We'll have to see. Got another minute or two on the reflow over there. While that is reflowing, guys, I'm going to use the bathroom really fast. I'll be back in like a minute, so just bear with me, okay? Be right back. All right, I'm back. Yeah, that's a process of elimination is definitely something you have to do when you do this kind of board design stuff, because it doesn't always work, you know, right off the gate. And you got to figure out, is there just a minor issue, or, you know, did I make an error in my design? You know, those kind of things can happen, unfortunately. But that is part of the process. But the more you do it, the better you get at it. I'm trying not to drop this thing. Set this down here. thinking hardware after talking with ChatGTP. Yeah. Okay, we're here. I've probably got a bunch of solder jumpers on there if I had it. Oh yeah, there's a nice big fat one. That's nice. Okay. Well, that's not going to be ideal. I am going to, I don't know if I can even fit this solder. Yeah, I might be able to. Put this solder iron in there. Just to try and clean out that jumper. Yeah, that's true. Okay, clean that off. Let's see if I can't get in here without burning my fingertips. Maybe. Luckily I reacted fast enough I didn't burn my finger there. I don't know if that's even getting on it. Yeah, I guess it kind of is. That is so ugly. Just come on. Cooperate with me, please. I think I just made an extra bridge, which is fantastic. Hopefully you can see that. Sorry. Trying not to burn my finger. Come on. Wow, that's hideous. Okay, well, can't really get that down in there very well. I can almost guarantee you if I plug this into my computer, it's not going to like it. So I'm pretty sure that has got a jumper on it. No. It didn't, it's so short because it didn't freak out, but it didn't ding like it found something, so. I don't know if I can get solder wick in here or not. That is less than ideal. Well, I think our next best option is not to burn anything with my... So... I'm gonna have to pull that USB connector off real quick. We're using all the tools. I don't want that to be too high. Yeah, power regulator is good because otherwise it wouldn't power on. Soldering, correct board settings, say also external programming on ChatGPT. I mean, my other option is to like make a Circuit Python firmware for this, but I don't have time for that tonight, unfortunately. So we'll give this a shot. If it doesn't work, then I might have to tackle this later, but because it's getting a little late for me, unfortunately. I have a feeling this metal plate this thing's sitting on is just sucking up this heat, so it might take a bit to get it to desolder. Pick the heat up a little bit. Come on. Hold on. I have a feeling this plate that it's sitting on is just sucking up the heat. Sorry, I'm going to move it off for a sec. Yeah, that was it. Now it's loose. And, okay. It's a little unfortunate because, nope. Fan's blowing all over the place. I had to kind of modify this one to get it to fit on there in the first place. It's not really coming off. Please don't blow. Hot air is a bit, turn it way down, maybe that'll keep it from blowing all over the place. I'm just trying to get these pins hot enough where I can kind of knock that solder off, hopefully. Don't blow off. This is like real fun surgery right here. Come on. Got one off. Come on. Barely see that. Goodness. As you're going across here trying to... I'm not looking at the chat right now, I'm sorry. I'm trying to concentrate on knocking that off. It's just that one. Oh, it's so freaking hot too. It's close. Come on, break off, will you? I don't think I'm going to be able to get solder wick to, whoops, to work with this, unfortunately. Well, we can try it. This is like copper braided that sucks up solder when you're reworking stuff. I don't know if that's going to work. Try it. Basically just need it to suck up. Now, did I get it? That looks pretty close. Stuck in. Can't tell if that's... Is that off? Or is that still a jumper? Oh, let me look at this one. No, it's still there. Come on, man. Now we're kind of getting it. Sorry, guys. I know this is like riveting stuff right here, but name of the game sometimes. Trying to break a little solder Wait. Oh, come on. Of course, this doesn't want to stay still. We could try and, I don't know, I'm going to try something. Sometimes putting it back on the board and letting it, the solder kind of reflow itself a little bit will pull itself off the pin, but there's no guarantee that's going to happen, but we'll find out. So sorry, I'm going to do this off camera for a second because it's really hard to see what I'm doing with. Come on. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Can't tell if that's... No, that might have worked. I don't know. It's really hard to tell. Put it up here for a second. Just... Can't tell. Can't tell if that's got a joint on it or not. Oops. And we'll find out in a second. I'll try and plug it in and see what happens. If I can't get that little solder joint off, I'll just have to put a different connector on it. Or a new one, rather, I should say. In fact, I'm just going to prep a new one right now while that's cooling off, because I'm have to cut it. Hopefully that's... Problem is, like, we don't even know if that's the actual problem with this thing. It's just the first thing I'm trying. Okay, so I need to... Oops. Oh, that was nice. I just bent the pin on it. Just bend that back down right where it's at. Okay. Just bear with me for a second here. Okay. See how hot this is. Kind of blow it off my hand. All right, let's see if it'll recognize it. Nope. All right, now let's put a new one on real quick. Lots of fun here. Oops. Okay. I don't even know how many people are still stream or watching, but no, a couple people. Hopefully you guys find this somewhat interesting, I guess. Okay. New connector. Sorry, I really do apologize for this not being on the camera, but I can't do this under the microscope. And I don't even know if that's... We'll see if that's actually got a joint or not. Okay, so that new one's on there. I don't know if it's connected or not. Can't really see it without being under the microscope. Whoops. I am actually... Kind of looks like it is. I am kind of curious for something. C3. So, only 40 megger. Yeah, okay, that's all right. I just had a moment where I'm like, maybe that, maybe I used the wrong crystal with it, but no, it's 40 megahertz. I didn't imagine that. Yeah, let's see if this works. If I, well, trying to cool it off fast. Oh, good job. I'm in the process of trying to plug it in. I ripped the USB cable or USB port off. Bear with. More surgery here. I'm gonna put a bit more solder paste on the feet of this thing, which is that's too much, but I might be able to do this. Well, no, I can't do it because the plate for this microscope sucks up all the heat, so then it doesn't resolder properly. That does not look like that's... This is what happens when you don't get the right footprint for your USB connector. Let that be a lesson to you all, yeah? Don't do what I do. Trying to... Trying to get this on there. I'm making a mess of this. I'm making a mess of this. That's good. Good thing you guys can't see that. Let's try that. Oh, I appreciate it. Thanks, Ed. This kind of happens when you oh my goodness. Well, I just had a catastrophe. Just knocked the button off. And the little capacitor went flying. Oh no. Let me try and salvage this. And I don't know where that little... I don't know where it went. Here, I'll show you what I got so far, just so you guys can see. Sorry. There's a capacitor that's supposed to sit right next to that button, and I knocked it off, and I don't know where it went. This is brutal. Where could that thing have gone? All right, let me, it was a 1 microfarad, I'm pretty sure. Let me find another one. Inductor. Where that is. Jump. I think that's over here. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, but anyways, when you build something, a new design with like components that you've not used before, this tends to happen occasionally. Where like you're like, oh, this footprint looks right, and then you go to install it, and you're like, no, it's not right. But okay, sorry, let me try and fix this thing real quick. Then hopefully this actually fixes the overall problem. Which, I mean, hopefully it does. I don't know if it will, but... Oh my goodness, that's so small. Shoot. Stay there. I'll take the heat off of that for a second. Okay, got it back on there. We're getting close to actually... Yeah, hopefully. I think the streaming... I think the stream took a poop again. Oh, that's not even close. What am I doing? Trying to get this thing, this connector to connect. It's not one to cooperate. Like getting the actual pins lined up correctly. It's proving more of a pain in the butt than I expected it to. I think it's right there. Okay. Oh my god. I looked away for half a second, then it popped right off. You know, it's one of those things where, like, you know, you design this thing that's fairly complicated, really. And the thing gives you the most trouble. It's like a tiny little USB connector. Nope, don't do that, please. Don't make it solder joint. Okay. All right, I think I got that. I think. Hopefully. Let's put this back up here. Okay. Well, it's the first thing I would try. Like it connected, but it wouldn't program. Which may just be that like one of the data lines wasn't connected properly. It's either, I mean, that's my first guess. It was the USB. If it still does the same thing, then it might be the connections on the chip itself, which will be harder to fix. But so I think that looks better now down there. I think it does. Okay, let's see if I'm trying to plug this in and see if it... Oh man, that's way off the board, isn't it? Okay, that beeped, so that's a good sign. All right. Oh, now it's thinking about it. So, boot. And let's... Come on. Okay, there's that. We're going to try and upload it again. See what happens here. No, I don't think that was it. Oh, man. Okay, so it's not the USB connector, unfortunately. Did I clip off the wrong side? Morning, Mike. Am I winning? That depends. It kind of got it to work, but it has some issues, and now I've got solder paste on the chip itself, which is fantastic. So right now the computer recognizes it, but it doesn't want to program for some reason. It might be the actual chip itself has a problem. I'm trying to look in. Let me go back down to here. I got solder paste on this side, I think, which is makes it look nice and pretty. Trying to make sure that everything looks like it's here. The other thing, I guess what we could try real quick, let me plug it in, beep it out, and see if everything's working correctly. If I can find my multimeter, where the heck that ran off to. There it is. So let's move this up and out of the way. I guess that's shut off for some reason. There we go. So that's that. All this out of the way. Back connectors. Zoom out. I'm just interested to see if, so we've got ground. Okay, so we're getting voltage, so that's right. Which means the chip's getting voltage. Which makes sense because it's the computer's recognizing it. But put this back in. So, yeah, and I just pulled the connector off, unfortunately. It wasn't on there very well. All right, well, I would love to keep tackling this for the rest of the night, but unfortunately I have to be up very early tomorrow morning. And it's getting late. But I might tackle this further on another stream, we'll see. But we basically built a tiny little board that's, you know, comparable to Cutie Pie, as it were. Come out here and just show you guys. Thank you for stopping in, everybody. I really appreciate you guys stopping in, saying hi, chatting, trying to help me troubleshoot this a little bit. I think it will work. I just got to figure out what the problem is. I don't know exactly. I'll have to do some more troubleshooting, but the fact that the computer recognizes it and it's like, hey, you know, there's a board here, is a great sign. I mean, it means that it's more or less working. But for some reason, when I try to upload it, it just errors or just times out. So yeah, I'll probably do that. Yeah, Mike, this was like my little project today. I designed this on a previous stream, or at least most of it, and I did some tweaks, and then yeah, kind of made out. This is a Adafruit Cutie Pie, which is in and of itself is pretty tiny, but yeah, that one's super tiny. So thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate it, and I will see you all in the next stream. So thanks for stopping in, Bio and MCMJ official. Still can't pronounce your real name. I apologize. Mike and Ed and Sion, who stopped in earlier. So, thanks, guys. I'm gonna get some sleep. Whatever time you guys are at. Enjoy the rest of your days, or day rather, and get some sleep yourself. So, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.